Today I will not make the mistake of running around in the incorrect spec with the gear I wasn't intending to have equipped when I'm trying to just do daily quests. So it's going to be interesting to see how many people are still doing the regular bounties out here on the Bel Inzel Island. What's up, Des? I'm hoping to actually get some of the not just general quests done, but get a character or two through the featured instance to get the daily shot at gear. Which would be nice. Hey, Gulo Gulo. Yeah, the odd thing there is that the Pantheon Streamer Week got me a really weird set of numbers. Oh, come on, please. Okay, good, I didn't miss this tree. Sorry, trying to get my tag on this tree so I get credit. The interesting thing is that it got me all of the hard to get numbers, or what people say are the harder to get ones, you know, like the consistent view time and viewers and stuff like that. What it left me short of, which my dashboard started yelling at me the other day, was, you know, if you just get a few more followers. Yeah, Des, I know you got a lot of that out of the streamer week, which makes perfect sense because you're a lot more active in the actual Pantheon community than I am. So you have the recognizable name factor there because you put that legwork in, whereas my general, you know, regard to the Pantheon community is, well, fuck off. Yeah, I kind of have the whole, well, I don't wanna. So, well, I think what I'll actually do over the next few days is do enough streams to actually see, do I want to do the whole try and get the last few followers I need thing, and then go from there. I was hoping that I'd run into more people on the island doing these daily bounties, but I think a lot of people are kind of in lull mode right now, where we're waiting for the new stuff, new content to drop, and so most of the people who were doing the dailies kind of on the regular out here are in wait and see mode. Yeah, we're waiting to hear Cord, who is kind of the community manager for Standing Stone Games. So he does both Lotro and DDO and is kind of the face of both of them for putting out public news, was talking about the upcoming roadmap for this year is being worked on internally right now, so it's not ready for release just yet, but they're working on finalizing things, and that will include when we're going to get new instances and a raid. So we don't know yet when that's going to be. I have a feeling a lot of people are kind of in a mini break, at least from doing a lot of this. But what I'm hoping to get today, maybe on this character, or actually I'm going to probably do these on the champion and then switch over the Runekeeper, is Lotro has a weekly featured instance rotation where starting at level 100 you get access to the featured instances, and they change every week. They rotate through a schedule of them. And this week's, at least today and tomorrow, because they reset on Mondays, is Woe of the Willow. And so if you run them, you get an extra, extra loot at the end, and it's a chance at being some pretty decent like filler set pieces. And I've got a few of those actually on this character that I'm using. So you get like, in this case, it's the Valiant Armor of Remembered Rivals sets. So I'm hoping to get some of those actually on my Runekeeper to fill in some of their gear, because my champion is pretty well geared. But the nice thing about Woe of the Willow is it's one of the 3-man instances, which means that people run it pretty regularly, and overall, if you know it well, it's not a slog like some of the others. So it shouldn't be too hard to actually find people running that and get through it today and tomorrow. I've been bad about doing it this week. But yeah, as you can probably tell, this character right now for the current solo and small group content does not need a whole lot of extra gear. He's pretty well geared for right now. Yeah, Woe of the Willow is a fun little 3-man. The second boss is ironically, I think for most people, harder than the first, just due to the sheer damage that it puts out. And if it comes down to it, I can usually solo it on this character, just because I can basically go into a tank spec and just outlive that boss. But that is not nearly as much fun as getting a couple other people in and blowing it up. Ah, this guy's actually making me use potions. I'm upset. Rich ore. Let's see. Do I get the rare crafting mat? Nope, no dice. Well. Yeah, these bounty mobs out here, they're basically, this island has 5 of them that you can do for these kind of bounty quests daily. They're tuned so that if you're someplace in the 148 to like a brand new 150 or a lightly geared 150, you really want to have 2 or 3 people on them. It can absolutely chew you up, like, as you can see, even there on a very well geared for what we have in game right now, 150 with a pretty good soloing spec. Like this is my survivability damage spec that I'm using. I had to use potions and cooldowns and still got to like 50k morale at a couple of spots. So you can solo them if you're at cap and decently well geared and have a spec that's built for it. But this island, you get a lot of people who put together like little mini ad hoc groups. Like those two who were just those three who were just riding out, they're going up to the tree, which was the first one I killed. And so you see a lot of that. I just happened to time it poorly for when I got here. But it gets you some XP, it gets you kind of the local currency, some rep, potions. It gives you virtue XP too, which is actually something that they started doing with this expansion, the Corsairs of Umbar. A lot of the quests actually give you virtue XP to help you level up your traits, as opposed to just having to do deeds to get these. That's been a huge quality of life change for not having your virtues be solely reliant on completing deeds. So I really hope that that's something they carry forward, with quests being a source of virtue XP. And then you have your choice of either a crate of general crafting materials, a randomized tracery box, an enhancement rune, so both of those are for your legendary items, or what I do them for, and a lot of people do these, is to get Embers of Enchantment, which is a currency that you can buy gear boxes with, so you can help fill out gaps in your gear. So this is just a nice source of a very small amount of them, but you can do them pretty regularly. All right, so I'm taking a quick look through looking for fellowship chat right now, see if people are putting groups together. And it is quiet now. Of course, when I was on my lobbies earlier, people were putting together groups. Always how it goes. So I think what I'm gonna do is, on this character, I'm gonna see if I can basically just see if I still remember how to solo this place.
In the heart of the old forest, a fell sword calls forth evil spirits from the Barrow Downs. Only by destroying the sword can you stop the wood troll's blight from spreading and end the forest's misery.
I was actually thinking about playing Genshin later on today. That's kind of hilarious. Oh, interesting. So it did not give me the featured instance quest. It really is. I have way too much fun in that stupid game. I'm terrible and I don't have any really good characters or gear in it, but it is just way too much fun. Yeah, it seems like the co-op is really aimed more at running the little, like, the boss challenges and things like that. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of reason to, like, group up and co-op out in the open world, which is a bummer. Okay, featured instance, Woe of the Willow. Why are you not giving me the... Yeah, it is not giving me the featured instance quest, which is kind of weird. Alright, Des, happy Genshining. Yeah, I think I'm going to see if I can reset this. Oh, I know why it didn't give me the featured instance. I'm an idiot. I was launching it on the wrong settings. Duh. You have to actually set it to the correct group size to get the featured instance to trigger. Not the solo version, which it defaults to because I'm not in a group. This week on Stands as an Idiot. There we go. Small fellowship, featured instance. Much better. So we're gonna do one small gear change here. Gonna get a little bit tankier, even in my DPS build. Okay, that is 2 bear bracelets, which is good. That gives me healing boosts. And let's see. Where is... There it is. Get a little bit more defense from my chest piece. Alright, let's see if I can still solo this. And this is how quickly the featured instance groups fill up for Woe the Willow. I just saw in LFF chat, literally within 15 seconds, 1 out of 3 looking for a group, 15 seconds later, full. Thank you.
Everything looks so twisted, like the forest itself is angry. The sword can't be too far from here.
So trash shouldn't be the problem here. The problem will come when I get to the stupid tree, not the big tree boss, the walking tree boss. And for that, I will have to go into full blue line probably, and just outlast him. And Woe the Willow also has that thing where if you don't know the actual route from point A to point B, it can be kind of a pain because it's really easy to get lost in here and go do way more than you actually need to do. Okay, blue spec active. It took a little while to swap that. Put on my correct legendaries. And yeah, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and just pop into my proper tank gear here. Outgoing damage isn't going to be as big on this as just simply outlasting him. And ideally, not running out of power during this fight. So that is definitely one place where I will have problems on this guy, is just the sheer power outlay that I have to do for the fact that the fight lasts this long. Sleeping limbs, I think I need to get away from. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, that was bad. All right, caught back up. No harm, no foul.
Fall before us! Witness our might!
And I am, striking blows, get away. It might look weird, but I am using my taunts on this guy, even though obviously there is nobody in the group, because it does also reduce his outgoing damage temporarily while the force taunt is active. So it gives me a little bit of a buffer.
Witness our might!
Thinking I might have been better off doing this in DPS spec at this point, because I am just chipping away at him.
Fall before us! Witness our might!
And I completely failed to dodge sweeping blows because I was not paying attention, so that's always a good sign. Unfortunately, that lost me my good positioning there. I think I'm going to see if I can get him to follow me. So what you don't want is you don't want to be knocked back into the poison clouds when he does his knockbacks and you can't avoid them. That's what screwed me up that time.
Witness our might!
If you can pin him like this, where you can dodge his knockbacks and face his back to the nearby poison clouds and keep him here, you got a lot more room to work with.
Witness our might!
Nope. Yeah, I didn't get out of the knockback in time. But I'll just take him back here and reposition. Come on, follow me, please. Good troll. So, didn't work out too badly.
Fall before us! Witness our might!
Thankfully, that's a very short-range ability. I'm just a little overcautious about how far I'm running away when I do that.
Witness our might! Fall before us! Fall before us! Witness our might!
Ah, I ran in too soon. Nope. Good enough chance as any for a reposition.
Fall before us! Fall before us! Witness our might!
Wow. So this is called I am rusty as hell right now. But again, nice thing about the blue champ is I can catch up real quick as long as I'm not getting pounded on. But I am starting to think I really should have left some DPS gear on.
Witness our might! Fall before us!
I'm just going to eat the knockback on that one. I don't really care so much. I want to get some DPS in on him. So still I'm in a really good position here.
Fall before
He hasn't pushed me too far back, and my resources are really solid. I'm not having to overlap my defensive cooldowns either.
Witness our might! Fall before us!
And that's got him to half health.
Fall before us! Witness our might!
And yes, this is the cheesy as hell way. Oh, come on. I was out of range of that. I call bullshit.
Fall before us!
That's going to hit me. Yes, this is the cheesy as hell way of doing this, is to solo it on a tank class, but I think I just got a lull in the times when people were putting together groups, so screw it, I'll do it myself.
Might!
Now, I won't be able to do this on the Runekeeper, so I'm going to have to hope for a group on that.
Fall before us! Witness our might!
It'll be up in just a second, and that gets me nicely caught back up. Lather, rinse, repeat.
Fall before us. Witness our might.
Really, the thing about this fight here that gets even groups is getting knocked back into the poison clouds. If it keeps happening, your catch-up is really hard, because they do a significant amount of damage if you land in them and have to run out and take a few ticks of damage. So in my case, I've got a pretty fair amount of tactical mitigation stacked on this character, which means things like poison, fire, stuff like that. I've got a pretty high damage reduction too.
Fall before us.
Not like I did back in the 140 cap days when I was geared to the teeth, but that'll come again.
Fall before us.
I might get hit by that. Nope. Just got out of range of that.
Witness our might. Fall before us. Fall before us. Witness our might.
And yes, even on a tank, I will still pop power potions if I need them. And Jamp tanks absolutely need power pots, which I don't know why I don't have them on my bar. I could have sworn I put power pots on my bar for exactly this reason, so I didn't have to go into my stupid inventory and find them mid-fight. Wondering if I just haven't put the new ones on my bar.
Fall
I
before
probably had them on back in the tanking Karn Doom. Okay, this should get him shortly under 500k, which will be nice.
Fall before us. Witness our might.
Oh, I ran back in too soon. That was 100% on me. I knew it was a bad idea and I still did it. At this point, this fight has taken so long that I'm just starting to get impatient and sloppy.
Fall before us.
Like, I'm just going to sit here and eat this one.
Witness our
Mostly because my shield is still up, so I can.
fall before us. Fall before us. Witness our might.
Okay, under 200,000. He is almost done.
Fall before us.
Okay, much better. Seriously? Seriously, you're gonna take one last swipe. You've got like 15k morale left. That was a jerk move, and I kind of applaud you for it.
That'll teach him not to underestimate us.
Yeah, because you were so helpful here, Marigold.
Before we reach the sword and Old Man Willow.
Alright, I'm going to be lazy and stay in my DPS build on my way here. I'm just going to put some of my DPS gear back, or my tank build on the way to the last boss. I'm just going to put some DPS gear on to chew through some of the trash. There we go. So that puts me back under 300,000 morale, but I'll actually not be hitting like a wet noodle. Oh, but before I go do these guys, I need to take a quick pause because the timer is yelling at me that I need to take bread out of the oven. Alright, much better. Did not want to burn a fresh loaf of bread, because that would suck. And I'm sure this place gives a whole lot of old-time Lotro players Old Woods flashback. See these tree roots and start having nightmares. Alright, getting a handful of these guys together. And the question is going to be, do I go back full tank when I do the last boss? Or do I stay in DPS gear, but tank spec? I don't think I can do it in a DPS spec. I don't think I can survive. I think I'll try it in this kind of mix of mostly DPS gear, but staying in tank spec. Because when I've done it before, I've done it in full tank gear, and that ends up just, again, being kind of a slog with the with the spirits who will come out and do the power drains, as I'm just not able to kill them quick enough and I run really out of power. So hopefully this will mean that I can take them down with cleave damage a little easier and not be so power starved throughout the whole fight. And if not, I die and I go back and do it again in a slightly tankier gear. So if I remember right, at 150 with the 3-man, I am going to have to interrupt the blasts that the sword does. So I'll have to be watching to clobber it as well as all of the other things I'm doing here. Yep, there we go. So it's going to do Wave of Darkness that I have to be ready to interrupt. But that's not too bad. See, these are the guys who are just a pain in the butt if I can't get them down quick enough. And of course, what I forgot to do was put power pots on my bar. Yeah, I think this one may outlast me here. I'm just not putting out enough damage. I'm now thinking, did I used to solo this at level cap when it was 140 and I was really heavily geared? That's a distinct possibility, actually, now that I think about it. So I might be remembering soloing this when I was in basically like end of a level range gear. There we go. I at least have the power pots on my bar now. And yes, I was correct. I did have the previous Gundabad power pots on my hot bars. That's why I was thinking I had them there, but didn't. At the very least, I have not been getting hit with any of the waves, so I've been avoiding that. Okay, so this has almost halfway down. Not doing great on resources, though. Because I have to keep being ready to clobber the sword and interrupt the waves, I can't really go pick up the ranged adds. I have to let them just cast themselves out and come to me, which does suck. But I just don't want those waves of darkness to go off, because they make this fight way, way more hard to deal with. Okay, and I am tapped on power, so I need to regen a bit here. This is definitely where the champion, as a tank, has issues. Nope, give me fervor, give me fervor. Okay. I think it might have gotten a wave. Yeah, I got a wave of darkness off there. It resisted my clobber, which is a bummer. But I got that one, so I should be back in the fight. Whew. Okay, I think I'm caught back up. Still low on power, but that's to be expected. I think this entire fight's basically going to be me low on power. So I don't think there's anything I'm just going to be able to do about that. Keep them clobbered and keep rolling. I just need to not get eaten alive by these lag spikes. This is a bad one. I mean, thankfully at least to let me get my cooldown back, but it's going to get the wave of darkness off because I couldn't get fervor. So, trade-offs. It reset. Oh, that is dirty. I think the instance server just lagged so hard that it resets. And I just lost all that progress. It is not registering my clobbers anymore. This is going to be tough to recover from. It just reset the Morgul blade all the way to full. I am well and truly fucked. So I had that thing down to like half health. That is really annoying. And I didn't run away or like leave the fight zone or anything. That was just a hard lag spike and server got confused. Nope, time to break out the good power pots and see if I can finish this off. We'll just call this take 2. And here's where I'm in trouble because I have no power to do anything. Luckily, I was able to get the clobber off, but I am way behind on fell spirits. Oh, Oracle Blade. There we go. And I still can't get power back from a pot for another 30 seconds. So this could be bad. Which means I'm going to waste some morale pots, but I've got 1,000,000 of them, so I'm not too worried about that. See if I can just get this fell spirit out of the way and not eat a wave of darkness doing it. Okay, got lucky on that. Time the wave of darkness right. Okay. Power pots back up. Yeah, I am severely power starved here. Okay. First 1,000,000 morale of the boss back down. And yes, I say back down because I'm not bitter about that or anything. No power for a clobber, so I just had to eat a wave of darkness. Okay, at least I was able to get that wave interrupted. See if I can catch up on some morale here. I just don't have the power to... Yeah. Even getting my heals off is rough. So I'm going to cheat and use adamant here. Okay, this is right about where it bugged last time, so we'll see what we get. My morale potions are up. My power potions are still on 15 seconds. So if he does a wave, yeah, there's the wave. Just enough. I'd say if I got a bad wave of darkness timing, I would have been in trouble there. I think I got that wave. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, do I have enough? Yep, I got enough for a shield. I'm still starved for everything else. One more wave I didn't eat, so that's doing good. Everything I can do to chip away at the sword is a bonus here. These guys don't do a ton of damage that I can't mitigate. It's really just the amount of time that I can spend actually doing single target damage versus when I have to be pumping out AoE to take the phantoms. Is really what determines how long this fight is going to drag on for. Okay, power pot is almost up. Okay, power pot up. Gets me a bit of catch up. And I am so close to having it under 1 million. Okay, it's back under 1 million. Let's hope it doesn't bug again this time. Got my health pots are back off cooldown. I've got those if I need them. And morale is a minute out. pot for some breathing room. Thankfully, I at least keep getting the waves pretty well handled. Now I kind of wonder if it's just gotten annoyed and is going to give me a break from the phantoms. I'll take it. I'll take anything that gets me this little catch-up period here. Because when I can spend my time dumping damage into just the blade, I can actually make some significant progress on it. So that was a nice little break there. I got to catch up on power, and I got a decent amount of progress done on getting the blade down. Of course, then it spawned a whole host of these guys. Okay, 350k. Things are looking okay. Could be a lot worse. Okay, so I almost have it finished because you don't. I think if I remember right, you don't have to take this all the way down to 0. It's going to hit a threshold, and then we kind of have a an intervention. So I really am just in stay alive and chip away mode here. Okay, well, that took a little bit longer than anticipated, but here's old Tom.
Old Grey Willow Man, mind you your mischief. Go now back to sleep, and don't be awaking. Ha ha! Thorn or sword, Tom sees no difference.
So other than the fact that the fight reset about 1 million morale in, and I had to do it 1.5 times, it could have been a lot worse. And let's see, so that loot I don't really care about because that's not going to be good. What I want is Malachite Box of Ancient Treasures. And what did I get? So, Valiant Chest Plate of the Remembered Rival. So I did get gear, but I think that is the piece I already have or am already wearing. Yeah, that's a piece that I already have, but that means that because this is account bound, I can pass this off to another character who doesn't have one of these teal armor pieces yet. and start getting them some of the set gear. So that's pretty solid. Right, I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, I can't put it into the shared storage yet because it is still in that decay timer. And I'm not sure if the sell and sell back trick still works, so I'm not going to risk that. Instead, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over to my Runekeeper real quick and see if I can't get a group to do the featured instance on that character with an actual 3-man group. Because that is ideally what I want to do, and get in there with a group. But this time around, there just weren't people advertising for it by the time I wanted to get something going, so I was stubborn and soloed it in tank mode. Sure as hell cannot do that on my Runekeeper.
Would you do something for me? Hello there.
Okay, get out into the real world so I can actually zone into an instance if one comes up, and then start watching LFF chat. Oh, and also, I finally did remember after tons of times of telling myself I needed to do it, but I cooked myself up some food for this character. There we go. Restock my food. Because for the longest time, I was in a scenario where all I had was my seasoned fish platters. I did not have my stat buff foods. Whoops. So while I'm waiting for groups, I'm going to go ahead and probably pop over to Bel Inzel. and see what's shaking over there. I may as well at least pick these up, even if I don't end up doing them today. Or this other runekeeper here is also picking them up, so I may end up just following them and getting them done at the same time. Which wouldn't suck. I can always use embers. So it looks like they do the salamander first. It's always interesting to see who does what pattern, whether you do tree first or salamander first. And somebody just, oh wow, a couple of somebody's just did salamander, so I think I'm just going to follow these folks to the crab. Kind of tag along while I'm watching LFF chat. And if nobody starts yelling about it, I'll just probably end up tossing some hints in there, see if anybody's looking to do it. And I have drawn aggro already. That's one fun thing about the Runekeeper is you pop a couple of crits and it's going to be on you unless somebody's actually tanking it. So this time around, I'm going to let somebody else go in first and get a decent chunk of threat before I just start nuking. I know, crazy talk. And they actually did a fellowship maneuver on this one, so obviously they're in a fellowship, but man, you do not see that often, especially in a duo. All right, that is 2 down. Still nothing in LFF, so I might just have really bad timing today. Which, I mean, par for the course, eh? And this dude just killed the bird, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that arcade just killed the bird. So I just have terrible timing on not only the bounty mobs, but also people in LFF looking for the featured instance. So it may just be one of those days. Let's see. Time to get some of this junk sold. Vendor trash gone. Oh, the other person in that duo must be a burglar. And I'm guessing they're stealthed. That's probably why they had the Fellowship maneuver pop, because Bergs have a lot of openers there. Alright, bird is up. Yep, Berg just popped out of stealth and stabbed Yon Crow. What I love about these is, even though they're kind of like mini boss mobs, they are stunnable. So yellow rune keepers can just sit there and pile the stuns on them between our runestone, shocking touch, and shocking words. So if you cycle through those every time they get up, you can keep them locked down and out of people's hair pretty decently. So I'll still have to swing around and get the salamander after this, because these guys had just finished killing it when I got there. Oh man, I pulled aggro already. Dang it. Okay, just saw somebody in LFF putting together a featured instance group. Awesome. So, I'll actually get to...
calls forth evil spirits from the Barrow Downs. Only by destroying the sword can you stop the wood troll's blight from spreading and end the forest's misery.
Eat my food real quick. Oh man, looks like somebody's doing scrolls, so that's even better. We got people who are doing buffing. So we've got a brawler and a hunter. We're gonna be solid here.
Like the forest itself.
I'll be able to throw a little bit of heals.
Too far from here.
And if we really need, I can actually go into a healing spec, but we shouldn't need a full true healer. Just because we'll have the total output between the brawler and the hunter and myself. We should be able to basically blitz this place. I love that it's a brawler named UFC. I appreciate the thematic character naming here.
Pesky vermin. These woods are ours. You cannot stop the march of Ogmar. Sardor will see it done.
Alright, there we go. Runestones are down. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the good runekeeper and put DNF on our brawler. And throw him some hots. Even though my heals suck in this spec, it's still something.
Witness our might. Fall before us.
Yeah.
Adore.
Oddly enough, with 3 DPS, this fight goes a heck of a lot quicker and smoother. Who would have thought?
That'll teach him not to underestimate us. We've got further to go before we reach the sword and Old Man Willow.
Okay, yep, Hunter's with us. So now we'll actually get to do the tree without having it be a whole big endurance fight with the solo tank.
I don't like the look of that sword one bit, and I don't think we ought to touch it either. But if we strike it with everything we've got, even iron has to break. Let's bring the forest back to normal.
Oh, and somebody's actually doing interrupts. Awesome. Move the stones down. And with this group, we might actually be able to do this before the next wave even spawns. Yep, I'm not even having to burn cooldowns on this. This is how fast a 3-man is normally supposed to go.
Grey Willow Man, mind you your mischief. Go now back to sleep, and don't be awaking. Ha ha! Thorn nor sword. Tom sees no difference.
Okay, let's see. Malachite box says... Oh,
I learned something new about my friend.
I got the angry little old man Willow, and I got
Well, never mind. It's time we went home and
no
gave
set
Tom
pieces. Yeah, I just got the general loot from the instance. So that's a bummer. I was hoping for an actual gear set piece on this character, because I really don't need the like junk level 491 gear. But it is what it is. I at least got it done on my 2 characters, one of which I got a group for, which made it go a heck of a lot quicker and smoother. Go see if I can get the salamander. Think that's all I need still. Yes, just the salamander.
Greetings, kind traveler. It's a fine day indeed. Greetings, kind traveler. Hoi. Greetings, kind traveler.
Alright, well, that could have been worse. And apparently, that's the first time I've done Woe of the Willow on this character. I really thought I had before. Huh. Go figure. Let's see, how many ranks unclaimed do I have? Just one. Good, I'm not too far behind. Well, let's see. Don't have any more characters at 150. I've been really slacking on getting more to the cap. So I think that's probably going to be a wrap for the day. Got the featured instance done on 2 characters. Got my bounties run. Yeah, the featured instance was dirt slow on one and really quick on the other, so not bad. But I think I'm probably going to go ahead and just take a break. Might be back on later and see if anybody's doing something. See if I can get a group together for non-featured instances or even rerun them just for shits and giggles, because it's nice doing it every once in a while.